distinguished guests, Your Excellencies, honored dignitaries, members of media, and friends of water everywhere. Good afternoon, namaskar, adab, namaste. Welcome to a room where water speaks, where data meets conscience, and where the most ancient questions of civilization is asked again today. How do we protect the world that protects us? I, Dr. Anupama, Associate Professor of JNU, and I have the profound honor of serving as Master of Ceremony today on National Seminar on Water, Gender, and Climate, where water flows, equality grows. Organized by Igniting Minds organization in association with the FCC Club of South Asia on the occasion of World Water Day 2026. The United Nations has chosen water for all people, equal rights and opportunities as the official global theme for World Water Day 2026. Today, in this auditorium, we are living the theme. Before we begin, may I request all present on this occasion kindly to turn your phones to silent mode so that the distinguished voices can be heard, and then we have a great time here. So so all the guests are already on. So, ladies and gentlemen, every great civilizations began with a seed and a source of water. Today, we inaugurate this seminar not with the lighting of the lamp alone, but we as an act that speaks the language of the future, the watering of tree sampling held in the transparent globe, a symbol of our plant's fragility and water's preciousness and our commitment for protecting both. Before your represents the earth, beautiful, irreplaceable, and vulnerable. The sampling inside the represent life depends on water, depend on our choices, depends on our will to act. May I invite our chief guest, Rajbhushan Chaudhary ji, and all other dignitaries present on the dais to inaugurate the tree, watering the globe with the water. Thank you. What a beautiful and powerful symbol that the first act of this seminar is not just speech, not just ribbon cutting, but the giving the water to life. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is a question that started a moment. A question asked by a village woman in Telangana 20 years ago. A question that has not left one man since the day he heard it. The man is here today, and this seminar is his answer. As the great uh, person said, water is the softest thing, yet it can penetrate mountains and earth. This shows clearly the principle of softness overcoming hardness. So it is now my honor to invite the founder of Igniting Minds organization, the man whose 20 years of field work across 33 countries and 1400 communities has proved the water, women, and community ownership are the three pillars of living planet. Sri Mr. Karnakar Reddy ji. So he is the man. So the floor is yours, sir. Please, I request you to give the welcome address.
Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Rajbhushan Chaudhary ji, my mentor and former DRDO Chairman Dr. Satish Reddy ji, Dr. Suresh Reddy ji, Mauli ji, and Saraswat sir is on the way. Welcoming Dr. Saraswat sir. Sir. Thank you, sir. Welcoming Dr. V.K. Saraswat, sir, and friends and media, professors from JNU, my friends. It is a great honor and privilege to be here, celebrate World Water Day in advance. And the MC, madam, what she said about the 20 years back, the journey, what had this thing, the woman is my mother. I born in a village where there is a no water because it was even a bank of river. It is a 3 kilometers from away from my village. But in the childhood, when I was in 8-9 years old, myself and my sister, my mother, both three people together early in the morning used to get up and take mud pot, whatever pot we do now, we take it, used to go to the step well and collect water. That too, only one trip is more than enough because there was huge queue in that particular area. So my mother used to tell all the time, entire water is the one which is really we are facing a lot of problem, and not only me and my entire village was this problem. I came from a place called Mahbub Nagar in United Andhra Pradesh. That is where I was having my childhood really taken me entire this thing, and I have all these proofs till today. I have the symbols of this, what I was used to carry 35-40 liters of mud pot, and the step well used to be around 95 feet. That's what, almost 30 meters. That is what the mission I taken, that okay, how can I really solve this problem? Because I am able to complete my education because my sister it isn't taken. Because all this the rural India, majority of the female or majority of the women, girls are only for collecting water and doing domestic activity. I seen in last 20 years, I seen a lot places. Approximately 14,500 communities I have worked in last 20 years under the leadership of Dr. Satish Reddy, going to the villages. I seen women only, they used to get married, women only for water. So I seen water wives of water. Dr. Rajendra Singh ji, Waterman of India, kindly come, sir. He is here. So that is the biggest, the pain which I used to have this problem. So after going through this kind of situation, I decided myself, how can I really make it more accessible, affordable by the bottom of the pyramid? That is what my mission. And I've successfully completed so many. We can see that we brought almost 14,500 communities, which is almost serving 2.5 crore people in India to get a clean and safe drinking water at very affordable user charges. That is what we did. And luckily, what happened last 10 to 12 years, Honorable Prime Minister brought this Jal Jeevan Yojana, Jal Shakti Ministry, Jal Shakti Mantralaya. Last 10 years, they freehold almost 5.5 crore families out of this problem because of Nal Se Jal Yojana, Jal Jeevan Yojana, and all these things. That's why I'm very proudly say that I came from Rangapuram to Rashtrapati Bhavan. Okay, my village name is Rangapuram, from Mahbub Nagar district, where is the highest drought-prone area, to Rashtrapati Bhavan. I'm here today just because of that particular pain and mission. And our objective is to impact and make sure, this is the last word of Dr. Kalam, livable planet Earth. Livable planet Earth is only possible if the people participation. What happened when I was young, communities used to manage a lot of things. Community used to have ownership. Now, no community is taking ownership because people are believing that, okay, this entire water activity should be taken care by the government. But wherever our communities, wherever we were there, where we are able to give the water to them and where we empower the people, that is made today almost 170 plus villages got Nirmal Gram Puraskar Award by the Rashtrapati Awards. That's what we impact a lot on our communities. So what is the objective is today is the water and gender. Today you can see that, okay, my boss is asked yesterday, when we are talking about water and gender, okay, where is the gender equality? I said, sir, a lot of women is still are busier collecting water in the villages. Okay, women are there. Okay, we need to bring them. Like my sister, I told her, my sister not able to complete her education because we were not having that much time and affordability. So if we give water to every rural family or every individual, then there is an opportunity, there is an action, possibility to give them water and give them a lot of equity. So today it is a very great honor for me, and it is an opportunity for us. A lot of international national media is here. What we need for next 30 years, because when we seen that, okay, in the year 1945, the per capita availability of water is approximately 2000 to 2500 meter cube per person per capita. Today we are having completely less than what we said, that around 1400 meter cube. So recently Niti Aayog is given a report, 2018 CGMAT report, saying that, okay, approximately 54% of India is under water stress. If this situation continues for long, and if we want to become a Vikasit Bharat, as our Honorable Prime Minister vision to become a Vikasit Bharat, so without water sustainability, Vikasit Bharat is not possible. So we all together need to work towards how we can preserve our natural resources before it become a rare commodity. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
So thank you, Karnakar ji. Words born in the field carry a weight that no textbook can match. So now I take privilege in our culture, the highest form of honor is not an award given by an institution. It is the recognition given by the community, by fellow human beings who say, you matter, your work matters, we are you. Today, we have the privilege of honoring our distinguished guests. So, not merely as dignitaries, but as champions of waters on the planet. So, I request Karnakar ji to felicitate the dignitaries on the dais. So, I request Dr. Raj Bhushan Chowdhury ji to accept the felicitation.
Sir, this is the tree planted, and we are going to nurture, and last
Pooja.
year also we planted only on the river bank, but it is growing.
ये देने के लिए अच्छी है। Huh? So I request Karnakar ji to felicitate Satish Reddy ji. So Dr. V.K. Saraswat ji, please accept the felicitation. Harshvardhan is not there. So I request Satish Reddy ji to accept the felicitation. I request Azad sir. Awadh ji to accept the felicitation. I request Awadh ji to accept the felicitation. No. So, Waterman of India. So, please accept the felicitation. Sir. Next. So, I request Awadh ji to accept the felicitation. K.R. Suresh Reddy ji to accept the felicitation. Before we hear the voices of our distinguished speakers, Vande Mataram, the song that reminds us that this land is not merely a geography, it is the mother and mother's first gift to her children and is water. I request all present to please rise for the singing of our national song, Vande Mataram.
वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज श्रीधरां सस्यश्यामलां मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रजोत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी पुल्लकुसुमितं नृपशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां मङ्गलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्
Please be seated. Bharat Mata ki Jai. Ladies and gentlemen, the Minister of Jal Shakti is not merely a government department. It is the custodian of India's most precious inheritance. And today we are honored to have him in this room, the man who carries that responsibility with both scientific rigor and human compassion. So, John F. Kennedy once said, anyone who can solve the problem of water will be worthy of two Nobel Prizes, one for peace and one for science. Our chief guest has dedicated his public life to being worthy of exactly that. A physician by training, a public servant by calling, a parliamentarian by mandate, he represents Muzaffarpur, Bihar, a land that knows water both as a blessing and as a fury. And he brings that lived understanding to the highest council of water governance in India. So it is my privilege and honor to invite our chief guest, Dr. Rajbhushan Chaudhary ji, Honorable Minister of State of Jal Shakti, Government of India, Member of Parliament, Muzaffarpur, to address the gathering.
नहीं बाकी माइक
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा
भारत माता की The distinguished dignitaries on the rise, Dr. V.K. Saraswat ji, Dr. G. Satish Reddy Sahab, Sri Rajendra Singh ji, Waterman of India, Dr. V.L.S.H. Awaz Sahab, Dr. Kamalakant Tripathi ji, dignitaries of the dais and respected experts, representative of industries, and my dear friends. It is a great privilege to be present among such an eminent gathering to discuss one of the most important pillars of India's development, that is water security. Today, India's journey toward Viksit Bharat 2047 is being guided by the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji. His approach to governance has always been holistic, forward-looking, and rooted in sustainability. Under his leadership, India has transformed the way we think about water from a fragmented approach to an integrated national mission of water conservation, water management, and water security. Dear friends, one of the most revolutionary initiatives in this direction has been the Jal Jeevan Mission. When the mission was launched in April 2019, only about 3.2 crores rural households had tap water connection. That is only 17%, approximately 17% of the rural household. Today, under the leadership of our own Honorable Prime Minister, more than 15 crore rural household had access to functional tap water connection, and that is more than 85%. And this transformation is not merely about infrastructure, it is about improving quality of life, empowering women, improving public health, and strengthening rural dignity. Millions of women across rural India today have relieved from the daily burden of fetching water from distant sources, as our previous speaker has told his. Access to safe drinking water at home has brought new opportunity for education, livelihood, and community participation. Dear friend, our Honorable Prime Minister has repeatedly emphasized that water conservation must become people's movement. This vision is being realized through the initiatives known as Jal Shakti Abhiyan and Jal Sanchay Jan Bhagidari. Through these campaigns, the government and citizens have worked together on a massive scale to conserve water resources. As a result, around 2 crore artificial groundwater recharge structures, including ponds, check dams, recharge wells, and other structures, have been created across the country. This unprecedented national effort demonstrates how public participation and government leadership can work together to protect our water resources. Encouragingly, the latest National Groundwater Assessment conducted by the Central Groundwater Board shows positive result. The number of assessment units in the overexploited and critical categories has reduced, and many regions have recorded stabilization and improvement in groundwater levels. This is a clear indication that India's effort towards sustainable groundwater management are delivering results. Dear friends, another key pillar of water security is efficient use of water in agriculture. As we all know, more than 80% of groundwater extraction is for irrigation, which accounts for largest share of water uses. The government of India is therefore focusing in improving irrigation efficiency through programs such as modernization of command area development, MCAD. Pilot project under the initiative are demonstrating how modern technology, better water management practices, and scientific irrigation methods can significantly enhance water use efficiency in agriculture. The guiding principle remains the vision of per drop more crop, ensuring that our farmers receive adequate irrigation while conserving precious water resources for future generation. Dear friends, these initiatives clearly demonstrate that under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, India is not only addressing water challenges, but is also building long-term water resilience for the future. This vision aligns perfectly with the broader national aspiration of Viksit Bharat, where economic growth, environmental sustainability, and social empowerment move forward together. At this moment, I am reminded of the profound word of former Prime Minister late Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who once said the conflicts of the future may be fought over water. Today, under the leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, India has taken decisive step to ensure that country move confidently toward water security, sustainability, and self-reliance. Through programs like Jal Jeevan Mission, Jal Shakti Abhiyan, and Jal Sanchay Jan Bhagidari, India is strengthening its water resources and building a resilient future. I am confident that with continued innovation, public participation, and visionary leadership, India will not only secure its water future, but will also emerge as a global model for sustainable water management. Together, we will move forward towards water secure India and Viksit Bharat. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Dr. Rajbhushan, sir, for your words on how the government takes the initiatives and bring up the water conservation and the sustainable water management. And thank you, sir. Your words just not carry the weight of 15 crore families who have now water at their doorsteps through Jal Jeevan Mission. And the hope of every family is still waiting. So thank you so much. And now I request all the dignitaries to join for the release of souvenirs, followed by the World Water Pledge. మీరు కూడా పైకి ఎక్కండి. I now request all present here to please rise for the water pledge.
So I'll read, kindly follow all of you. The story of this water pledge is reached approximately 44 million people in last 20 years. A simple initiative, what we are committing each and everybody not to waste a single drop of water and respect water rather than abusing this. So I'll read and kindly follow me accordingly. The water pledge. I take an oath to conserve water and to use water wisely. I pledge to consume water judiciously and not waste even a drop of water. I'll treat water as the most precious treasure that I possess and consume it accordingly. I pledge to motivate my family, my friends, and neighbors to use water wisely and not waste it. It is our planet, and we can only save it. Jai Hind. Thank you so much. Sir, one single word about this souvenir, sir. This is the real the works which we did in last 20 years. Approximately 33 countries, including 2 COP summits as an observer, and also approximately 2.5 million women. I worked with them. I seen them in last 25 years. And as I told, like my mother, there is a lot of people, a lot of women are water wives. So let us liberate them. And this is soft copy is also available. And kindly take this into and read it, and if possible, give us a feedback, because this is carrying a lot of dignitaries' messages, including our Honorable Minister and Dr. Satish Reddy ji, Dr. Saraswati ji, everyone who's contributed to this. Thank you so much, sir.
So, moving on, there are scientists who work in laboratories, and there are scientists who understand that the greatest laboratory is the world itself. And that's the greatest experiment is the civilization's struggle to survive. Our next speaker belongs to the second category. Uh, he led the DRDO when needed its best scientists most. He now shapes India's long-term policy as a member of Niti Aayog. He has been the principal architect of some of India's most celebrated technologies and achievements. And today, he brings the extraordinary mind to bear on the question that will define India's next century. Can a nation of 170 crore people be water secure? Mahatma Gandhi said, Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed. Our keynote speaker has spent a lifetime proving that India has the science, the capacity, and the will if only we make the right choices. It is my highest honor to invite Dr. V.K. Saraswat ji, Honorable Member Niti Aayog, Padma Bhushan, former Director General DRDO, former scientific advisor to the Raksha Mantri, Government of India, to deliver the keynote address. Thank you, sir.
I am going to talk to you about water security for Viksit Bharat 2047. Just now, all the speakers have spoken about Viksit Bharat 2047, and water security is one of the major elements of that. Viksit Bharat has a number of elements: resilient, self-reliant India, economic growth, strong infrastructure, and technological leadership. The three things are important: energy, food, and water. They become a total nexus for everything on which all of us depend. A foundational infrastructure for achieving goals of Viksit Bharat is sustainable growth, national resilience, and long-term sustainability. Now, there are 4 pillars of water security. Water should be available. Water should be of good quality. Everybody should have access to that, and there should be stability. United Nations have given very correct definition. इसको भी चलने दो, दोनों को चलने दो, कुछ दिक्कत है? So now, we will be looking at all these 4 pillars. There is a trajectory of India's water stress. In 1951, India used to have what is called availability of water per person per year, about 5,177 meter cube. Today, we have come to something like less than 1,200 meters per second. That means we are already a water stressed nation, because water scarcity will come when per capita requirement becomes, availability becomes 1000 meter cube per person per year. We are slightly above that, but we are start. So India is set to become a water scarce country. We have a trajectory that 54% of India faces high to extreme high water stress. 50% of the net zone areas are rain dependent, and 42% of the cultivable land lies in the drought prone areas. 600 million people face high to extreme water stress, and 75% of the households don't have drinking water on premise. 84% rural households do not have piped water. 70% of the water is contaminated. And India is currently ranked number 122 among the 120 among the 122 countries in the water quality index. So it's not a very good sign. Now, there are many factors which are responsible for this water stress. Agriculture is among them, because our first thing is water intensive crops we use. We use groundwater 62%. We use almost groundwater is going down by 2 to 3 meters per year. Indian farmers utilize 3 to 5 times more water than the normal farmers like US, China, and all. Irrigation efficiency of our system is only 30%, 38%. Whereas if you look at US and other places, it is 50 to 60%. So that is our problem. 54% of the groundwater wells show declining levels. And we have seen groundwater should be available at 50 to 60 feet, but it has dropped to almost 2,000 feet. Urban population is another reason. We are becoming more and more urban, and municipal water demand is likely to rise from today's 40% to as much as 80% by 2050. Inadequate water infrastructure. 40% of the water is lost in the pipeline leakages. You know that. Poorly managed water, wastewater. 70% of the wastewater discharge is untreated. Other things are industry. We are actually 12% of our fresh water is used by the industry. And in 2050, it is likely to become 16%. We have textile industry, chemicals, steel, and pharmaceuticals, major users. Thermal power plants. 40% of the thermal power plants may face acute water shortage by 2040. And now the new area which is coming up because of artificial intelligence and all that is, and digitalization, is a large number of data centers are going to be set up. And these data centers will demand huge water. Today, we are about 292 gallons per day. In 2030, this demand will be about 450 gallons per day. So there's a CAGR of 5.5% that is happening here. We have another water stress reason is the pollution. Water stress is pollution. Our 311 polluted rivers stretch across 30 states with a BOD of more than 3 milligrams per liter. Climate change is another reason, frequently. Fragmented governance, even in a city like Delhi, we have 7 different agencies handling water management. Other reason is gender. There's a lot has been said about gender. Water stress is disproportionately impacting the women who bear the primary burden of collecting water. A CEW report indicates that the lost productivity due to the time spent in fetching water costs roughly about 10 billion per annum. And water collection burden is 80% of the women are responsible for water management in areas without on-premise water. So they have to go and fetch water. Time, poverty, and economic impact. Women travel almost 50 to 77 minutes per trip, 3 times daily to get water. That is a kind of stress. And of course, labor participation becomes very, very affected. Women in water governance, the results are very, very good. Empowering women in the water governments improve the sustainability of water systems. Research shows that water management institutions perform better when women actively participate in planning, decision-making, and monitoring. That's why women-led water government programs which have been done, Water for Women and Women for Water, and Nari Shakti se hi hai Jal Shakti. That is what is happening. Another area which is important, and I think we most of the time we miss out on that, is the role of technology. If you want to solve the problem, the technology is one which has to be used. For example, for water management, conservation, monitoring, distribution, we have to use technology. Smart water monitoring, like Internet of Things based water sensors, satellite based remote sensing, artificial intelligence based hydrological modeling, all these things, smart meters, all this is possible. Remote sensing, if you do, like aquifer mapping, river basin management, watershed planning, all that can happen. National Aquifer Mapping Program is already on, which uses GIS information. Another area is water efficient agriculture technology. As I mentioned to you, our efficiency of agriculture irrigation is 38%. So if we go for drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, or precision agriculture, where you provide water only based upon the moisture requirement, soil moisture sensors, satellite-based crop monitoring, and AI-based irrigation advisory, we will be able to reduce water consumption by as much as 30 to 50%. Rainwater harvesting, all of us know, rooftop rainwater harvesting, check dams, percolation tanks, and recharge fields. These are the technologies. Now, with the artificial intelligence becoming more important, we have possibility of predicting the rain, what is called the demand patterns. We will be able to do optimization of the irrigation scheduling. We will be able to do better urban water distribution network. And we can also monitor the quality of water, as we can see that. So these are the technologies which can be made use of. Another area, which particularly for a country like India, which has got only 4% of freshwater reserves of the globe, with 18% population, you can imagine, as compared to other nations, where do we stand? Desalination, in my opinion, becomes one of the major things. So that too based on solar desalination. So solar thermal desalination, solar powered reverse osmosis, these are the areas which can be done. Many experiments have been done. For example, in Chennai, there is a plant set up, solar desalination plants for coastal application. Almost they are producing 10,000 liters per day. Similarly, Lakshadweep Island, we have got 100 meter cube of water daily using ocean thermal currents. That has been also provided. IISc Bangalore also have found a method of siphon power. Rajasthan, they are using solar powered RO. They are producing almost 600 liters for potable water daily. But the problem with the reverse osmosis, the residue which is there, it has got a major pollutant problem. So we need to find out. Kanyakumari, we have got a multi-effect desalination plant with 7,000 liters of distillate water with tea, very, very high quality of we can get. Another area on which Government of India is focusing is the linking of rivers. And we have identified 14 Himalayan and 16 peninsular rivers to be interlinked. You know the Ken-Betwa link project, you might have heard about it. Then Daman, Ganga, Pinjal, Maharashtra, Gujarat. This is also Parvati, Kalsi, Nath, Chambal between Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Godavari, Kaveri for Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Tamil Nadu. And Kosi, Mary in Bihar. So these are some of the projects which are going to lead some good results. Atmospheric water generators. A lot of technologies have been built now where people are able to capture water moisture, and they are doing that. Some of them, like Maitri, Aquatech, Aero Water, and Vayujal have begun deploying atmospheric water generator systems. Bharat Electronics developed a AWG system capable of producing almost 1,000 liters of drinking water per day from the moisture. Water recycling, and that is one where we have to put a lot of effort. Urban India generates about 72,000 million liters of wastewater daily. 72% of the sewage remains untreated. That is our preparation. So treating and reusing wastewater is important. There are a number of technologies which are available, and we should make use of them. Government initiatives, Honorable Minister has just now mentioned to you about Jal Jeevan Mission, which are got a major focus with 50% women representation in village, water and sanitation committees, and train women to test water. Basically, it is rural drinking water program. Another one is Atal Bhujal Yojana, which is community-led groundwater management program. Encourages community participation in governance, enabling women to participate in water planning and Gram Panchayat level. I want to give a story here. You know, Vidarbha region is very, very water-starved region, Nagpur. And I visited that place, and I was advised by Honorable Shri Gadkari ji that you go and visit that place. That particular group of villagers had no water, and the poverty was very, very bad. People didn't have even proper clothing to wear. And some money was given by Gadkari ji, and then one geologist and one civil engineer. They joined together. They brought the community, all the villagers from that village, and built check dams. What our Honorable Shri Rajen Singh ji has been propagating as per the water mission. And they built those check dams, and then all the water which was collected from the various hills around, they channeled it through those check dams. And today, there are 3 crops in that region, and people are driving motorcycles. So this community participation, and only 3 crores rupees was spent. Whereas an adjacent area, about 12 kilometers away, government has spent about 12 crores rupees and nothing has happened because no community participation. The process has been so slow. So community participation is very important. National Water Mission, which emphasizes the equitable distribution of water. Jal Shakti Abhiyan, that is again rain harvesting and watershed restoration plan. Community-based approach, which I mentioned to you, engages women self-help groups. And Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, again livelihood resilience for rural women and farmers. So community-led approaches matter for water security because there we can use the local knowledge, we can assign collective responsibility, we can have gender inclusion, and we can have transparency and trust there. There is a model of what is called 5% model, small commitment, transformational impact. There's a district Korea in Chhattisgarh that has demonstrated that the most powerful solutions do not begin with large dams or heavy machinery. They begin with people. And farmers, they voluntarily kept aside 5% of their agricultural land to construct small recharge ponds and terrace pits that capture rainwater directly within the fields. And a lot of women were involved. They were called Neer Nayikas. Youth were involved. They were called Jal Doots. And the impact of this program is that groundwater levels have risen by 3 to 4 meters. Springs have revived. Agriculture productivity has improved. And seasonal migration, which used to be there, the labor used to go from villages to outside, has stopped. So to conclude, I would say water lies at the heart of India's development journey. Securing sustainable and equitable access to water is essential for food security, economic growth, and climate. Ensuring water security requires a responsible use. Integrating technologies, innovation, cooperation among governments, communities, and individuals is important. Integrating women in the water governance and leveraging advanced technologies can transform water management. So what is to be done? India must now decisively go from a water-stressed nation to a water-secure nation. And I think the kind of oath what we have taken today and the kind of discourse which is taking place in this will certainly lead to the transformation which will result in resilient, sustainable, inclusive, Viksit Bharat 2047. We must act now to safeguard access of clean and reliable water for future generations. As our Honorable Prime Minister said, there shall be a tomorrow only if there is water, and securing that future requires collective action today. Jal hai to kal hai. That is what Prime Minister Modi said. Let's work on that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for speaking on water security. He gave India its most advanced defense technologies. He now gives the Igniting Minds organization his wisdom, his mentorship, and his conviction that water security is national security. So, Albert Einstein said, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Our patron and mentor has spent a lifetime providing that the most intelligent thing a scientist can do is to place their knowledge in the service of humanity. So I request with great reverence Dr. G. Satish Reddy ji, former chairman, DRDO, scientific advisor to the Raksha Mantri, Government of India, Homi Baba Gold Medal patron and mentor for Igniting Minds and Padma Bhushan to address the gathering.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Dr. V.K. Saraswat, the Honorable Member of Niti Aayog, Sri Rajan Singh Ji, Honorable Member of Parliament, Sri Suresh Reddy Ji, Dr. Vail Awad Ji, Sri Chandramouli Ji, and Mr. Karunakar, and all others who are present here. A very good afternoon to you. And on the occasion of course, it's on 22nd March, I will convey my best wishes for the Water Day. After listening to Dr. Saraswat giving the NM complete details of it with the statistics and so many things, I don't think I can speak now much. Most of the material what I thought has already been covered by him. But anyway, I am also from a rural village which I have my roots there and which I am well connected to my village. As I am speaking today, my village is getting water from the river today. Actually, today is the pipes are being laid from the river to this. Otherwise, we had a bore well. Earlier, when I was young, we had the wells. Then they became later a bore well. The water was not good. Then we have put RO plants in the village. And then we expanded to about 25 villages where all these water plants have been created, RO plants, and then giving this normal water to a better quality water and all that. And then people have been getting. So, water is the most important thing. As actually Dr. Saraswati was mentioning, energy, food, and water. Even in this, also, water is the first. If there is no water, there is no food. And even energy, also, most of the energy or reasonable part of it is getting generated from the water. And so, water is the most important thing. And this is what we have seen also. Wherever water is there, that is where the civilization has grown. If you see any worldwide, you see Paris, you see Moscow, or various other, or Cairo, the most ancient cities, all that have been around the water up to our Varanasi, all the places have been. So, water is the most important. Wherever the water is there, civilization has grown and things like that. And then, so we need to maintain and we need to have a good water, and then you have a good health. So, it's most important to see that every drop of a good water is conserved and maintained well. That is why actually in the SDG, Sustainable Development Growth Point number 6, it has been given that maintenance, sustainable maintenance of water is the important thing. By 2030, we should be able to achieve that. A lot of things are happening, harvesting and things like that and all that in the various, if you take our villages, we have developed lots of ponds which were actually earlier drained. Now there are almost in our villages, hamlets around that, we have about 20 such ponds which are developed now and taking place. So worldwide, everywhere, people are looking at it. And our country compared to many other countries, the rainfall is good. Like you see the West Asia and Israel and all that, compared to them, reasonably good rainfall we have. And how do we conserve that and how do we actually maintain that is the most important thing. That is where we need to look and we need to make awareness and all that. So I congratulate Karunakar Reddy for organizing this event. I'm generally seeing a lot of activities, Save Water. He has been doing for decades now that activities, working in the villages, working at various places, and also plantations. Almost about his group of these teams have planted about 17 crore plants across the country. That sort of activities and creating awareness among the people. And today is one such occasion, and we have eminent people like Rajan Singh Ji and all that to speak. And my best wishes again to the team and congratulations to Karunakar Reddy. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
Hear from a river, because the man I am about to introduce has spent 40 years becoming one with the water he protects. He did not study rivers in classroom. He brought them back to life with his hands. 11,600 johads, 1,200 villages, 5 rivers revived in 40 years of his journey. It is my profound honor and personal joy to invite Sri Rajendra Singh Ji, Waterman of India, Chairman, Tarun Bharat Sangh, Stockholm Water Prize Laureate, 2015, Raman Magsays's Award 2001, Jamnal Bajaj Award 2005. So we are very privileged to have you here, sir. So I request you to address the gathering.
Respected dais, on the dais and off the dais. I listening our state minister and Saraswat ji and Karunakaran ji and Reddy ji. Very interesting contrasts. We realize it. But I know this conference, water and gender. So I am not commenting on contracts. I am speaking about your conference. I know when I start the 50 year before, my region, Chambal and Alwar, they are everyone looting, robbery and without water. They are just moving around. One woman, my area from Alwar, the Nirbhay Singh, purchased in 5,000 rupees. And he take it and he forget it because he is a very big name after 5-10 years. So he forget Bhagwati. Bhagwati in our region a protocol. इसको अभी टाइम मिला बंद कर दो इसको ये भी ले जाओ Bhagwati is a very she not follow the protocol. Our protocol, if some woman purchased by man, she can't go back and meet to her parents. That is our protocol. But when Nirbhay Singh not come in 5 years, so she boldly go and meet to her mother. And see in Alwar, the big change with water, agriculture doing. So she asked her mother, माँ या कहीं हुई हो? माँ ने कहा कि एक पागल डॉक्टर आया है यहाँ, अब उसने आदमी का इलाज करना बंद कर दिया, वो धरती का इलाज करता है, तो हमारी जमीन पे खेती होने लगी. तो बोली ऐसा पागल डॉक्टर तो हमें चंबल में चाहिए. तो बोली कि पागल किसी की मानता नहीं है, सुनता नहीं है. मैं तुझे एक तरीका बताती हूँ कि तू अपने इलाके के 5-6 बुढ़े आदमी उसके दौरे भेज दे. वो बुढ़ों से बहुत बात करता है, तो हो सकता है उन बुढ़ों के साथ चंबल चला जाए. भगवती ने यही किया और भगवती बहुत बहादुर महिला थी. हम कहते हैं कि इंडिया इज ए जेंडर ब्लाइंड कंट्री. खासकर यूएन सिस्टम स्पीकिंग लाइक दिस एंड सम वेस्टर्न कंट्री स्पीकिंग लाइक दिस. The India is a gender blind country. But we are not gender blind country. They don't understand. They don't understand the power of our woman. In house, the out of the house, they covered the face. But in house, the always husband dancing on finger. Her finger. So, Bhagwati, I'm speaking shortcut. Bhagwati motivate me and she say, oh, yeah, we can do what is the way you are doing the work in my parents' village, I can do here. So I asked, you are alone, so what is the way you can do that work? So she said, no, don't worry, I can do. So I give the 3 months to her. I give the design, the 2 hill mountains, 300 acre land she have, and I give a very simple design. You that hill and that hill you join, and the wastewater can go in the left side to down. The simple. She made her part 33% in 3 months. After that, I go and our pupil join and made that. Why I am telling this story? Because the gender and water today, discussing here. So, भगवती का जब ये बांध पूरा हो गया, तो भगवती ने अपने पति को संदेश भेजा कि मकर संक्रांति के दिन सुबह 4 बजे मुझे जिंदा देखना चाहता है तो आ जाना, क्योंकि वो आसपास के गांव में निर्भय सिंह के गैंग में सब डाकू आसपास के ही थे, चंबल में, तो सारे डाकुओं को संदेश भेज दिया। निर्भय सिंह, आजकल डाकू तो ज्यादातर दिल्ली बंबई में रहते हैं, चंबल में नहीं रहते। तो निर्भय सिंह को जब ये संदेश मिला तो निर्भय सिंह दौड़ के अपने गैंग के साथ गांव पहुंचा, और मुझे भी संदेश था कि मुझे भी वहां जाना है। मैं आपको एक इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी इसलिए बता रहा हूं, ये फैक्ट है, ये ट्रूथ है जो मैं बोल रहा हूं। भगवती ने अपने पति के लिए एक पचरंगा साफा और एक सफेद कुर्ता और धोती मंगा के रखा था अपनी कमाई से, साबुन सरसों की कमाई से। और मुझे मैं उसके पति को जानता नहीं था। ये 150 लोगों के साथ गैंग में आए थे। वो घर बैठा था घिरा, 2-3 मिनट में वो थाली में सब रख के लेके आई और उसने अपने पति की तरफ ऐसे उंगली से इशारा किया। मैंने थाली में देखा तो कपड़े थे, थोड़ी हल्दी थी, थोड़ा पानी था, थोड़े चावल थे। मैंने उसका पति का टीका कर दिया। दोस्तों, एक महिला कितनी एम्पावर्ड और समझदार होती है, डीप होती है, इससे पता लगता है कि निर्भय सिंह टीका होते के साथ ही, साफा लेते के साथ ही कैसे चेंज होता है। Within a 2 minutes, he is speaking to his gang. Yes, now I am not going with you. Now I am living with Bhagwati. She waiting me continuously from 5 years. So उसके गैंग के लीडर्स ने कहा कि पुलिस तुम्हें छोड़ेगी क्या? तुम्हें मालूम है तुमने कितने लोगों को मारा है, कितने केस हैं तुम पे? उसने कहा जिसने मेरा टीका किया है ना वो देख लेगा, अब तुम जाओ। अब ये कहानी मैं नहीं जानता था कि टीका करने का मतलब ये भी होता है। दोस्तों, उन दिनों राजस्थान में एक बहुत ऑनेस्ट डीजीपी होता था, उसका नाम था शांतनु कुमार। वो हमारा दोस्त था। हमने उसको कहा कि भाई ऐसा हो गया। उसने कहा बस एक काम करना, मीडिया से बचा लेना और फिर नेताओं से मैं बचा लूंगा, क्योंकि आई नो कि नेताओं को कैसे हैंडल करना, बट मीडिया को हैंडल करना मुझे नहीं आता। मीडिया ने इसमें जाके एक स्टोरी लिख दी तो बस सब खेल बिगड़ जाएगा। दोस्तों, मीडिया को तो मैंने उस इलाके में नहीं जाने दिया, क्योंकि जाता भी नहीं था, किसी को पता नहीं था। पर 6 महीने के अंदर राजस्थान की पुलिस ने उसके सारे मुकदमों को माफ कराया और उसे वापस जेल से भेजा। और जब वो वापस जेल से आया तो वो क्या बोलता था, ये जरा समझ लेना। मैं मारता था, मरता था, मैं डरता था और डराता था, अब मैं समझदार हो गया हूं, पानीदार हो गया हूं, इज्जतदार हो गया हूं। तुम्हें भी मेरे जैसा बनना है तो बंदूकें छोड़कर आओ, पानी का काम करेंगे। दोस्तों, ये कहानी तो कुल 41 साल पुरानी है, लेकिन इन 41 सालों में हमने चंबल की 7 नदियों को पेरेनियल किया और 6332 डाकुओं की बंदूकें छुड़ाकर उनको पानी और खेती के काम में लगा दिया। ये चंबल की कहानी है। मुझे लगता है इतनी कहानी से काम चल जाएगा आज। क्यों भाई करुणाकरण, या कुछ और सुनना है? नहीं है। इतनी कहानी काफी है, और कुछ नहीं। ठीक है।
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your story. It was really wonderful and lovely experience listening to it. So thank you so much. And Policies without data is just opinion. So data without policy is just research. What we need and what the EAC PM provides is the bridge between the two. Our next speaker sits on that bridge. He provides the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council. He has published over 83 research papers. He was born in Cuttack on the bank of Mahanadi, and he brings the memory of that water in every policy he shapes. Dr. Kamalakant Tripathi ji, IES Joint Secretary, Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister, Niti Aayog, and IES, he did PhD from IIT Delhi. So I request you to address the gathering.
Good afternoon to all. Most respected honorable member Niti Aayog और लब्ध प्रतिष्ठ पंचाशीन अतिथिगण और respected experts, learned विद्वान मंडली जो भी यहाँ पे उपस्थित हैं. It's a privilege for me to be here, to be part of this particular August gathering, and to share a few of my thoughts about this water, gender, and climate or climate resilience. I was just, I'm sorry I could not come because of certain exigencies in PMO, so I had to rush there. So I'm fortunate to be here to be part of this seminar. The first thing is that, which is coming to my mind as far as the policy is concerned, so we have a lot of policies. So you can see, the erstwhile MGNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Right now it is called VBG-Ramji, and the spirits are, the same. The thing is that if you see around 50% of the 55 to 56% of the total activities, works taken up under MGNREGA is basically related to water harvesting structure or water conservation activities like ponds, like check dam and contour bonding and all. In case of watershed development program also, we have a lot of initiatives. In case of Jal Jeevan Mission, we have also initiatives. So everywhere you will see, since it's a centrally sponsored scheme, so we have to implement those schemes at the grassroots level with the help of the state government. The state's instrumentation actually comes into picture. But I'll be very much optimistic about it, though we have not achieved as per our expectations, and the data is in the public domain for MGNREGA, that VBG-Ramji. You can go to mgnarega.nic.in. You can drill down to the village, to the household level also. You can see that what is the participation. Around 54% of the total workers, job seekers who have actually worked on those activities are from women. So the gender sensitivity is there. So participation is also there. So there is basically a triangle. So water, gender, and climate. But there are certain issues. In the global, you can see that it's a reality that around 2.1 billion population, actually they are not getting access to safe water. And 1.8 billion households are there. Actually, they don't have tap water. So in that context, we have to actually work a lot. And if in a household, the water is not available, then who collects the water? It is the girl or it is the woman of the household. So in that context, if I was just going through certain studies by, UN organization like UN Water. So it says that 53 countries, show women and girls, they spend around 250 million hours daily fetching water. In that context, if supposing they're spending that much of hours, man hours, so what are we losing? Our girls, they're losing school hours, so they're missing schools. Women, they're losing their income opportunities. Maybe income horizon is there, but some occupational horizon is there. They could have actually spent that kind of hours there, but they're not doing that kind of income generating activities. And also, top of the all is the health risks. Those are attached to this. Climate change is a very opportune for this particular seminar, because you are basically gelling it well with this water. Droughts we're facing irregular rainfalls. Somewhere soil erosion is rampant, desertification is happening. The groundwater depletion is also there. So in some of the articles I was studying that the inhabitants of the farmers of Punjab, they don't eat wheat grown by them. So the wheat which are actually grown by them are being distributed through PDS to Odisha, Bihar, Bengal, where actually I'm from Odisha. So our taste and preferences are towards this particular variety than which is basically opted by the Punjabis. So they are actually into Madhya Pradesh wheat varieties. I don't know why this is happening. This is happening primarily because our per capita consumption for fertilizer is increasing in those belts, Punjab, Haryana, and Western UP. In that context, maybe they are switching to other varieties or wheat coming from other states where the less utilization or application of these pesticides, herbicides, weedicides, and fertilizers are recorded. So we need to think through that also. So we are actually giving rise to intensification of water scarcity. Then if that happens, then right now we have to actually think through by 2050 where exactly we will reach. So I think I just stating UN Water's study the data 250 million hours, but it may increase. There is an additional increment of 30% time, man hours or women hours that we are going to actually lose. So in that context, what are the solutions? So to me, whatever experience, the little experience that I have had for last 26 years in the government of India, and I have been, in rural development also, and I also implemented this MG Narega during 2014 to 2017. In that context, I can say that we need proper planning, and in that planning process, so there has to be gender inclusion. So that we should actually emphasize. So we know that there is a burden of water scarcity, but while planning for the water or water availability, so there is a missing women from those planning exercises. So water governance, water maintenance, or water management, whatever planning that we do, we should ensure that women representation is there. And then right now so many news or so many articles are coming in EPW and others that it's a feminization of agriculture is happening. So in that context, you see that who are the managers then? Who would be the managers for agriculture? It is the women that are going to manage the agriculture, and they're also managing households, or managing communities. So in that context, they should be actually the manager of water policy. So whether it is PM KSY, or it is Jal Jeevan Mission, or from any activity, any initiatives under this, watershed management kind of thing. So they need to be a part of this. Right now, the main lesson that we could draw from the implementation of various activities in the state, that we can say that water conservation is required. Right now, it is the need of the hour, but we have to engage the women as far as the implementation is concerned. So women's employment would be ensured, as well as climate resilience would also be there. So, from Jal Jeevan Mission, that we could understand that we have water user associations, village water sanitation committees. Then, in case of Odisha, there is Pani Panchayat, and there is in some states there are Pani Samitis also. So we need to ensure that more and more women participation, those are there. So if they are there in the policy, in the implementation, in the management, I think that we'll be able to revive our groundwater. Because in case of in case of UP has actually revived its rivulets or old water traditional water bodies because of this proper implementation of this MGNREGA. So and then agriculture income also would increase, then migration would drop dramatically, and the water governance would actually be effective. In that context, I can say that we have around 1 crore women. Those are constituted into around 10 lakh. Sorry, 1 crore SAG and 12 crore women. They are constituted into 1 crore SAGs right now, as per the data from the rural development. I think it's called NRLM data. So in that context, why can't we actually because they are basically constituted under SAG bank linkage program. So if they are there, their resources can be pulled in for budgeting the water at the grassroots level. So community conservation, climate resilience, and also we have to see that they are the champions as far as the policy formulation is concerned, as far as the implementation is concerned, and also monitoring is concerned. So if you see that in various public welfare programs, we have social audit schemes. So if social audit schemes are there, we need to understand that if maintenance has to be there, if monitoring has to be ensured, then more and more women of the locality, they should be taking part in actually monitoring the scheme of things. So there are many examples like in Rajasthan, in Andhra, in Maharashtra, they have done well. So in case of Maharashtra, traditional EGS program was there, and in case of MGNREGA right now, BBMG, Gramji. So they are also doing the good things. The recent irrigation system also has gone transformation. Drip irrigation is there. One drop, more crop. That is also there. Then water efficiency and resilience kind of thing that we are doing. But we need to give more focus on 3 M's. That is maintenance, management, and monitoring. More gender participation in those activities. We need to ensure. So we need to actually ensure through 3 P's: participation of the women that we have already discussed. Then in the policy, whenever we are actually drawing up a policy, just like in case of PM KSA, Pradhan Mantri Krisi Sinchai Yojana, or in case of supposing Jal Jeevan Mission, or in case of the Gram Panchayat plan, GPDP, Gram Panchayat Development Plan, or while actually taking approval under Article 243 of the Constitution, that is Gram Panchayat or Block Panchayat, Intermediate Panchayat, and the District Panchayat, we need to ensure that more and more water related policies are actually discussed, or its impact on the climate, that also should be discussed. And then more participation has to be there from the women side, so that we are empowering them. So the 3rd P is the power. So what I tell you that for centuries, women, they have stood besides wells carrying water pots. But right now, the situation is totally different. We have a lot of schemes, a lot of investment we are doing. As far as the water conservation is concerned, also we are seeking their participation. So that's all there in the rule book or in the guidelines of the central sponsor schemes. So we don't have to reinvent anything, any solutions. Solutions are already given. So, if you take the case of MGNREGA, Australian MGNREGA to watershed development programs, So we already have various powerful, flow-based models. So in that context, the challenge is how to scale them, and how to include those women into this policy formulation and also implementation. So we have to empower women, secure water, and protect the planet. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk to you on this.
So thank you, Tripathi ji. Numbers is in the right hand becomes narratives, and narratives in the right rooms becomes policies. Thank you so much for talking on the triangle water, gender, and climate. Thank you, sir. And now I take a privilege to introduce K.R. Suresh Reddy ji, an Indian politician who is currently member of Rajya Sabha from Telangana. He was the former Speaker of Legislative Assembly of Andhra Pradesh. So I request you to cordially address the gathering, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. The distinguished guests on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media. Well, actually, I'm a replacement to a very dynamic friend of mine who's doing this tree plantation in a very big way in the country. Due to some pressing issues, he couldn't make it. So when he requested, the option for me was either I speak on the appropriation bill in Parliament or I speak here. Well, I opted for this because Parliament is business as usual, but here I presume, it is much more informative and enlightening. And as the honorable gentleman really gave us a very good insight of what's happening in our country, matters related to gender equality, and more importantly, on water and how stressful it would be. While listening to them, I did get a little scared. But when I look at the other side, statistics kind of contradict most of it, not all of it, most of it. Statistics say that India has got the most arable land, the best arable land in the world. Still 70,000 TMC of water, that is the glacier water, river water, rainwater, all put together, still goes and meets the sea. So the dichotomy is there. Now, what is the solution for the country? March 22nd happens to be the World Water Day. And to be frank, ladies and gentlemen, I almost forgot about it. And the reason for me to forget about the World Water Day, which is so paramount in a country like ours, is because I was so actively involved earlier in water movements. I remember meeting Rajendra Singh ji in Hague 2000, and then subsequently in Kyoto. These are all the World Water Conferences. But for the last 10 years, I literally forgot all this. And the reason for this is to solve all the matters raised by the distinguished gentleman, and with my own experience of almost 40 years in public life, from where I started and to where I stand today, I feel the political will is what the country needs. And talking about political will, no better person than me to explain of how a political will, a good leadership, can transform one of the most backward regions into one of the most prosperous regions. Now, I come from Telangana. Telangana is probably happened to be one of the most backward regions of the state, of the country, and also of the composite state of Andhra Pradesh. And when the agitation for Telangana started, it continued for 13 long years in one of the most democratic way, in the most Gandhian way, I could say. The agitation under the leadership of KCR-ji, K. Chandrasekhar Rao-ji, went ahead. And the only three matters which he raised very clearly: we are not fighting against anyone. We are only fighting for water. We are fighting for our funds. We are fighting for our rights. And when opportunity came, when Telangana became a reality, when it became a state, ladies and gentlemen, this is something what I'm talking about, the political will. In a matter of 3-4 years, the transformation was so apparent, so visible. And there were three particular projects. Of course, out of the many initiatives, I would like to single out three major initiatives which we took out. One was called Mission Kakatiya. Kakatiya were the rulers who ruled Telangana in the 11th to 14th century. They built almost 40 to 50,000 tanks, which got dilapidated. And in 3 years' time, most of the tanks got restored. And in 2016, Rajendra ji, aap aaye the? And seeing is believing, and hearing from him can't be more enlightening. So in a matter of time, a state which was one of the most drought driven, which had the most migration, people going to the Gulf. When I first got elected in 1989, I was 27 years old, and mostly an urban guy living in the villages on and off. So when I used to go to the villages, we used to hardly see people, men, hard working men. I said, where are the men? They're all out. They are in the Gulf. You can imagine the trauma, the family trauma, the kind of stress the family goes through. And the reason for that is there is land, but there's no water. I remember one particular village, Rajendra Singh ji, जैसा आपने बताया चंबल का, तो उसी तरीका एक छोटी सी कहानी है. There's a huge project on Godavari called Sri Ram Sagar. So I was traveling on the bund of it. There was water, the dam was there. On the other side was a village tank, which was dry. There's not a drop. And when I checked there are a lot of people who joined the Ultra movement, the PWG, People's War movement, took up arms as a struggle because they, they had no other means. And the village elders told me they haven't seen the Ganj. Ganj is a marketplace for the last 30 years. And you see water everywhere, but not a drop in their tank. We just put a small lift irrigation and the whole landscape changed. And this is what KCRG did through what we call it a major Jalayagnam program, which he initiated. And this particular initiative of Kakatiya is one good example. And time is essential. Planning to होते रहता सब APO में है, आप और जानकारी चाहिए कि time is essential. Plan looks rosy, the plans look good, the proposals look good, but the trouble in our country is the implementation. Speed से नहीं होते हैं. जैसे दिल्ली के corridors में मैं सुनता हूँ कि where there is a will, there is railway, otherwise survey. बस सर्वे चलते रहता भाई. हमारे दादा के टाइम से दादाजी, पिताजी सब देख क्या हो रहा है, सर्वे हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, रेल आने वाली है, आने वाली. अगर रेलवे मिनिस्टर साहब हुक्म दिए 4 महीने 6 साल में होना चाहिए, अगर वो विल है तो रेलवे है. उसी तरह पानी है, मगर we lack the will to implement it. And Telangana is a very classic example of the willpower executed by the leadership under KCRG. The world's biggest lift irrigation, the Kaleshwaram lift irrigation, completed in almost 3-4 years. Telangana, which used to probably grow almost 60 lakh tons of paddy in 2014, in a matter of 7 to 8 years, that 60 lakh became 3 crores. And now there's a back migration. People from Gulf are coming back because there are opportunities, all because of water. So water is such an essential part of us. And then we are talking about drinking water. Drinking water also, like I said, political will. Today, I think Government of India has identified roughly about 50 districts in the country where there is 100% drinking water, tap drinking water reaching. And out of the almost 50, not even 50, about 48 districts. And in the 48 districts, 33 are from Telangana. 33 are from Telangana. So this clearly exhibits again, when there is a political will, definitely things will happen. And we proved it. So today, Telangana is the only state which has got the best potable water, piped water, reaching every household in the remotest of remote areas. I remember going to those whole days. I come from a remote area. So तालाब में riverbed पे पानी रहता था. So used to उसको क्या कहते हैं, उस सैंड को निकालते हैं, जब उसमें से हल्का सा पानी आता है और you drink that. So from that, now you just open a tap, you're getting water. And it's all happening in our country. It happened in a span of 8 years. So this is where we stand. And then you're speaking again about the green cover. Green cover, ho raha hai. And we did it in Telangana. It is the highest green cover we could create in a matter of few years. And today's whom I replaced was The man who took up the challenge and the green challenge, my dear friend, Mr. Santosh, former member of parliament, who's my party's general secretary. Santosh ji is the Green Challenge initiative with my friend Karnakar. Together, they built up two young guys, determined, and you almost did a lot of green cover. So these are the issues which come up. And today, I can very proudly say that when I look at the Constitution of India, what it says, all the articles and also the directive principles in it, even though I'm not a lawyer, I feel very proud that the Constitution then framed really guides us to achieve what we call it a nice, equitable welfare, what we call it a welfare state, can be achieved through the Constitution, and Telangana has proved it. The directive principles, what were enshrined there, the articles were there under the leadership of KCRG. We did all that. No wonder today we have become the #1 per capita state in the country. So from the most backward region to becoming the #1 per capita state, what was the most important component which got fully exploited to the tilt has been water. So water is how prosperity brings in. Like Prime Minister ji rightly said, water is the essence of our future. And in this direction, such seminars should be guiding us. I really thank and congratulate our honored distinguished guests who really enlightened us through their experiences and the wonderful motivation they have given us. So tomorrow I'm going to go back and be more determined to ensure, apart from the pledge what I took, but also more determined to ensure that all our citizens get an equitable share of this precious commodity. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Suresh Reddy ji, for sharing how you have done activities under the Telangana government, and we really thank you. And now, okay, now I request Sri Chandramouli ji, ex-chairman, KVIC South India, to address the gathering. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, sir. So we are deeply honored to have with us today the distinguished Dr. Awadh ji of the International Diplomatic Community Ambassador and representative of the nation that shares our water challenges, our climate commitments, and our civilizational respect for the natural world. So I now request you to address the gathering.
Thank you very much for your word. And I am the president of the Foreign Correspondent Club of South Asia and the International Association of Press Club. And I represent the Arab media in India. I lived in this country for long. And when the organizers approached me for these seminars, as a president of the club, as a responsibility, I felt that we should be a party to this hosting such event, especially with the Water Day is coming. And it's a very important topic that we all should have it. And I'm very thankful to the Honorable Minister, the distinguished guest on the dais, and to the organizer who made this possible, that we will be able to contribute to the success of such kind of a seminar. Because water I belong to a country called Syria, and it is in Sanskrit called Surya. And actually it is Surya, not Syria. We call ourselves, I am from Syria. So we are the Mesopotamia, where the water has been discovered with the Euphrates and Dejli. And we know that the first agricultural tools was discovered in my country, Syria. It's written in the history books. And we know that whenever there is water, there is survival. So even there are saying at home, we say, even if you're living next to the river, don't waste water. And these are the messages we want even everybody to get it across and send it across. So we feel that the world now, we are suffering because of different wars taking place in the part of our region. We are plight because of the oil and natural resources. But the war which is silently being fought is also another war front, which is going to be the next war, is the water war, where we have a problem with our neighbor Turkey, who is cutting the water supply to Syria and Iraq, where a scarcity of water is there, where we have the lust of the Israelis are taking the water of Golan. In fact, when they occupied Golan, people were saying the Syrian Golan 1982, they annexed it officially. People were saying, well, it's a hill station and they are feeling vulnerable for security. But if you know that 34% of their water comes from the Golan, then you will realize why they occupied the Golan. And if you know, are wondering why they are pushing for the Litani River in Lebanon, 170 long kilometers roads from between Israel and the border with Lebanon, that stretch of which they occupied earlier, it's also because of Litani River, because of the water. So where you were water, there will be wars. And similar fashion within India and Pakistan, India and China, Ethiopia and Egypt and Sudan, name it, and the water is a problem, and the water is causing a problem. So I think this is going to be a very tough year for the global community. It's going to be tough for the international, the human rights, because I mean the humanity. How can we survive this war with this much of war and ammunition that we are developing, and we are not even using the technology to provide drinking water for our own people? And when you talk of genders, I was today, 2 days back, when I was circulating the message, some of the ladies I sent to them, they said, well, there is a gender bias and we don't have a woman on the, well, I felt a little bit backward. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't know about, I'm not the organizer, but definitely I am one of the person who covered the lots of story on women and empowerment of women. In fact, 2014, I was awarded the a trophy and award because of my support of women. And I remember 25 years ago when I went to Surendranagar in Gujarat, I did a story on the drought in India. And I mean, it stuck my mind to see people walking miles and miles to the village and to the well there to take the water and take it all the way home. And during the story, I interviewed one of the sadhus there, and he's a historian. And I told him why there is this drought and this water shortage. He narrated for me. I still remember his word in Gujarati, but I didn't know. But he said it in English. He said there was a lady, a woman, telling her daughter, do not marry anybody from this village. Don't marry, because you will spend all your life carrying the water in your shoulder from the well to the home. So better. If that is the plight, and we do not understand that we can reach to the moon, but we do not provide water to our own people, then I think we are all guilty of this, and we should work together, because nobody can save this planet except us. And we should take this collective measure, not only by pledging this, but also by practicing it. I thank the organizer once again. I thank you all for coming to the club, and I wish to see more of you in our Foreign Correspondent Club of South Asia. Thank you.
Thank you, Awadji, for sharing the global things that are happening on the basis of war, and how really important is conserving the water and all. So thank you so much. And I request Karnakar ji to felicitate Tripathi ji. So I request Karnakar ji to propose a formal vote of thanks.
Before my vote of thanks, madam, we are going to talk about one moment speaker at least. We are talking about water and gender. Spare 3-4 minutes anytime, please.
Thank you so much. I am Professor Manju from Jawaharlal Nehru University, and I belongs to School of Computer and System Sciences, which deals with data nowadays. And for women participation, as he talked about, that is actually really important while dealing with the social cause which we all are doing, that if water flows, then we all grow. And as I also watch that women are really lagging here, because we are facing too many problems while gathering a water, while maintaining the household keeping things, and too many things which are required as far as hygiene. We required water everywhere, and still the participation of women is really lacking over here. So it's just a request, after listening to all the speakers, it's a request that women participation is really required in policy making, in at least gathering a problem, and whomsoever is facing the problem, at least they should be there, the case study should be there, so that at least we can come up with good and proper solutions. For at least we can, after that we can grow together, and we can gather the solution and come up with the gather the problems and come up with the better solutions. So thank you so much. And because too many data is required, and after that analysis is also to be done in a proper way. Thank you so much. Have a nice day ahead.
Thank you so much, madam, for your positive approach. And we want to involve women, because as we all know that, okay, India is in Sanatana Dharma, and everywhere the rivers are feminine. All our river names are Krishna, Godavari, Yamuna, Ganga, Saraswati, everything. And woman is the one which is completely spending a lot of time, like my mother has spoken earlier. So women participation is also required, and women also required to be in a governance of this water, because woman is the best, the water management people I know, I've seen around the world. Now I request my friend Aarti Gandhi, India Biogas, how she is impacting, empowering rural women. Kindly talk about your initiative.
Thank you for having me here. Even though I'm working in the biogas sector now, I represent World Biogas Association. We have a country office here in India, and there is where I'm working. But my past experience has been of conservation and wildlife and water. So when we're talking about water today, and thanks for having me here, I just wanted to point out something, because I've deeply dived into the water sector way back in 2010 and 10 to 15. So I was working on something called as we were doing a toolbox on water, basically. There was a huge project that was done with the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. We kind of were studying regional waterways and water systems. There was a toolbox for Indus Water Treaty and all the rivers, but also how you had your groundwater recharge, mountains, and the region was divided into north, south, east, west. But also in north, you were looking at the mountainous region separately. So we were looking at water conservation and water practices in the country, but my main area of work was obviously the mountains, because I hail from Himachal. And one thing we kind of understood, that when we're talking about conservation of water, it's been good so many years that apart from the areas where there is scarcity of water, there are areas where you have a lot of water, and the water has always been there. It's just how it's been conserved and how water recharge happens. So there's a pattern to it. I mean, there was a rainfall happening, and then groundwater would recharge, and we had our natural water springs where people would go and collect the water. And as we kind of researched through, we realized that water springs were always a community intervention. And it was very kind of religiously, water pathways and water passages were clean, and the springs were taken care of. But all due respect, we were talking about Manrega and we were talking about other schemes. This particular scheme came in, and the idea was to, traditional water springs were basically made by hand. Community was taking initiative to take care of that spring, but thanks to the Manrega scheme, they somehow decided, the policymakers had given whatever incentives they'd given, but they decided to kind of make them pakka in the sense they were all Yeah, I mean, there was a particular way of how the water was recharging and how the thing was happening. So the moment the Pakka springs happened is when it was no more the people's priority. I mean, it went away from the community was not responsible. It was the government's responsibility, because under Manrega, though they did provide incentives and they did provide labor, but consequently what happened, I mean, the springs that were there for good 200 years, after they were kind of worked upon with cement that has a life of say 50 years, and then not only were they kind of concrete was put to it, but also tiles were put around it, we saw a lot of water systems that died because of that. So traditional system, not keeping in mind how it had sustained for so many years. So when you're doing you're working on that, and there was another complaint that we got from a particular region where, you know, the contractor had taken the money, but apparently he did not work on the spring, and then people were really complaining that, you know, itna paisa kha liya hai, kuch nahi hua hai. Ironically enough, 3 years down the line, jitni springs mein kaam hua tha, वो सारी springs मर गई, बिकॉज वो जितना भी वाटर बेस था उसमें सीमेंट लगाया, उसको पक्का कर दिया, ग्राउंड वाटर रिचार्ज नहीं हुआ, तो स्प्रिंग में पानी आना बंद हो गया. बट जिस स्प्रिंग में द पीपल वर कंप्लेनिंग कि पानी मतलब कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ने पैसा नहीं लगाया, आयरॉनिकली इनफ 3 years डाउन द लाइन उसी स्प्रिंग में पानी था, बाकी सब में मर गया था. Reason is, when you're talking about policy and you're talking about how it is happening, you have to have a basic ground knowledge of how the people or the community have sustained for so many years. So, I mean, when we're talking about water, I know women are, और उसमें सबसे बड़ा benefit क्या था? Women को employment मिल रहा है. So, you know, it has to go hand in hand. So, it's not about women, gender, and policies. It's also about how India as a country has sustained for so many years, and how we can revolve around the initial gist of why we are called Indians and work around it and work in conservation. I mean, it has to have a binding somewhere. So it's just something I wanted to share. Meanwhile, that's it. I guess it's been a wonderful experience sharing with everybody on the dais. And yeah, it's like an eye opener. Everybody doing their bit. So thank you. Thank you for having me here, and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Arti ji, for accepting our invitation, being here. And now one more girl, the future leader of climate reality. Ria, can you talk for a few minutes? Because women participation is more important. Not all the men.
Good evening and hello everybody. Thank you so much, Reddy sir, for giving me this opportunity on speaking about World Water Day, which is coming, and how important it is for all of us. So I am representing the Climate Reality Project India and South Asia. And basically I deal with a lot of youth, because a lot of eminent people are present here. You have all the knowledge to give us. But when we talk about our generation, where consumerism is growing and growing and growing, and we know the facts, you know, it's fancy when we talk about all of these things, when we hear about it. But when it comes to actually implementing that thing, that behavioral change and conditioning is what is very important when it comes to knowing what will happen if water goes. I mean, we get everything we want, right? So that's that one thing that we are trying to tap through a lot of programs in our organization, like the Green Campus program, for example, where we do a lot of training through the teachers, which gets disseminated into students. And when we do a lot of transformation in terms of, let's say, rainwater harvesting, treatment of grey water, they go and see how it's happening on ground. And that's when they realize that if I'm wasting this much, there's also a lot of people sitting in the rural areas of Rajasthan or Chamba, like sir was explaining, what effect does it happen to them? So that's the important thing that we are trying to do, the bit that we can do in terms of practicality and all the policies that are getting discussed. On the ground, how do we do our bit, and also going from ground up approach, when schools is the place where we learn everything. So from there, when it gets implemented, the conditioning, the hard wiring that we have, ki paisa waste kar do, resources waste kar do, kuch hona nahi. होना नहीं है. But that's not the thing. We have the power to get that leadership from that age and instill it to bigger platforms like COP, as Sir mentioned. So if we talk about our country's NDCs, what we have to do to become net zero and how does water play a very big important role in that is what we as youth get to do. And we hope that we are trying to build that change and make that transformation happen from schools and from all of us, happening from me as well. So thank you so much. And also, Reddy sir, we'll stick to the pledge that we have taken today. Thank you so much, everybody.
So thank you so much, Ria, and all the dignitaries today. Honorable Minister, Sri Raj Bhushan Chaudhary ji, and Dr. V.K. Saraswat sir, Dr. Satish Reddy ji, Dr. K.K. Tripathi sir, who's already have so much busy schedule, but he don't want to miss, as he's given a word that, okay, he's going to be come and bless us. That's why he's here. And Dr. Awadji, even he is in fasting, and he's given his commitment that he is going to be here. He's here, and the professors from JNU, Aarti, and everybody who's here. And most importantly, this event is happened with my friend, Mr. Suresh, who is the one who's working since almost 10 to 15 days on the very short notice we did. We want to do in Delhi, and we prepared one souvenir of my 20 years of journey, where I learned a lot. I put on a paper and made it in a souvenir, and still it is need to be updated. And I thank to each and everyone who contributed messages. Okay, they are given a blessings and messages to this souvenir. Thank you so much. Of course, lost the list, and my elder son, Mr. Krishna, is here, and he spent a lot of time, day and night, to make this book possible. So that's what. Say hi. So he's my elder one who is working with me in the same sector, the water and environment, because I want to transfer my legacy to next level. That's what I am involving my family, not only me and working in this, and the entire family. Thank you so much for everybody, including Manoj, who is supporting as a knowledge partner all the time. Thank you so much. After this, we'll conclude this session with National Anthem. Before that, we want to felicitate women with our tree plantation as is a tradition. So can I, Nitish, can you give me the certificates here? Then we will conclude with the hands of Sir K.K. Tripathi sir and Awadh sir. We request you to felicitate our women today as a World Water Day woman. Take the certificates. Pooja here? Yeah. Ishuji.
So, as a closing remark, as all rivers are after the names of women, so we are treated as mother. So, at homes, the mother is the first teacher to all the children. If they start teaching water conservation from the home itself, they learn, they become big, and they follow it. So, that is what I feel at the end, the role of women at the households. So, thank you so much. And after this national anthem, we will have a group photo followed by a high tea. So let's all raise for a national anthem. Jana अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद जन गण मन अधिनायक
Jagdish.